Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, everybody?
It is showtime.
It is showtime. I'm still nursing kind of a damaged vocal system.
Yeah. When I talked to you on Saturday,
I sounded like RFK Jr.
Yeah, it's kind of just like I felt bad talking to you. I was like, just stop talking. Just use sign language.
Well, and that's part of the problem because I talk like, I've told you before, I'm on the phone like all the time, and I've been on the phone still getting crop insurance stuff sorted out, been on the phone with salesmen and stuff. So like I'm on the phone a ton, and it's when you have when you've lost your voice, the best thing for you to do is to stop talking.
Yeah.
And I have not slowed down talking. Today, I have intentionally not been on the phone. Like I was like really nursing my voice. I'm drinking like a honey mixture here. I drank it last night because we got to do 2 this week. I got to do 1 for my church. So I'm like, man, I'm just killing the vocal cords right now.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. What's it? For the love of the game, my friend.
That's
for
right.
The love of the game.
That's right. We're here for you guys.
That's right. You'll see the sacrifices that we make. I'm over here torching my vocal system so that we can be here.
Yep.
Well, before we dive in too much deeper, I do want to tell you guys to leave us 5 stars. We had another 1 or 2 more ratings on Apple and on Spotify. We appreciate you guys. Y'all are crushing it. It always just makes you feel good. It's good to see it. I'm glad that we appreciate it. And it makes us look professional. So guys, we appreciate those 5-star ratings. We do ask that you leave us those, write us a cool review. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, hit subscribe, comment below. Our YouTube, I don't understand, which I will add, our videos are now all up on Spotify. Not our past ones, but like any new ones now you can watch the video on Spotify as well. But our YouTube, man, it just don't get much love. Makes me kind of sad.
Well, that's fine. Most people are audio only. That's cool. I actually, because I normally don't use Spotify. I'm an iPhone guy, so I use Apple Podcasts.
He's a little gay.
That's fine. But somebody sent me a link to another podcast, and it was a Spotify link. So I clicked on that. And then I guess when I got done listening to that one, because I knew you were putting them up on there, it looks pretty cool.
It is.
I mean, it's just.
I had never used that before, but it is pretty neat. And actually, I'm going to tell you something I like about Spotify. You have to listen to the show in order to rate it.
Yeah, which I think
is good.
Gives a lot of credibility. Like which I would encourage all the iPhone people, if you listen on Spotify and you've already rated us, you can also open an Apple Podcast and rate us there, because you don't even have to listen to anything on there. It makes it harder for like someone to just hate rate. Right.
Like if someone's like, I just hate these guys, and they go on there and it's like, oh, no, you got to listen for 30 minutes.
Which of course Rogan's now all Spotify, but of course he's gotten all kinds of flack because he's not a diehard liberal.
Yeah.
If he was on like Apple Podcast, I guarantee you there would have been like droves people that were going.
They're like having to listen, like, damn it, like waiting.
Right. But if he was still on Apple, whatever, they would just go in there and just 1 star.
Oh man, yeah.
Which he's at the point where it doesn't even matter.
He don't give a shit. Yeah. We don't give a shit.
I don't give much of
Yeah. I mean, we know our lane, and we got an audience that sticks with us. And so that's what we do. And so guys, do that. And what else I need to do?
Y'all check out agzaga.com. They are your online ag retailer. You're going to use the discount code TalkDirt20. That'll give you $20 off a $50 minimum order and free shipping. All the good stuff. You can't even begin to name everything they got. Bell nut wrap is something, I mean, we're right there at it. If you're not already stocked up, you need to check them out. And 2, they're running lots of additional deals, specifically on those type products, getting ready for baling season. Parts as well. You need to do a little maintenance on your equipment to get ready for baling season. They got it all.
Yep. There you go. Check them out. And we want to give a shout out. We got a y'all, we've been hyping up our fancy camera work, and now I can actually just focus on doing the show. I don't have to be pushing buttons over here. And we got the shout out to the nephew over here, Banks, on the board, man. He can't even see us. We got him like, we're like, you can't watch us. You got to see us through the screen. Oh, there he's looking at us through the curtain over there.
We officially have a producer.
We do. So you guys, I
just want to say, hey, producer, do this. Hey, producer.
Pull up that for us.
Yeah.
Give him a shout out on some comments or whatever. If you think the camera work sucks, and you can tell him on YouTube or whatever. But no, guys, yeah, we're excited. So, there's still a lot of stuff going on there's a lot of shit going on just in general right now.
Yeah, there is a couple things.
Yeah. Like, man, this whole Iran stuff is wild. Like, I watched a video today. It was a cell phone footage. Did you see that of the missile launching out of Iran and the people were in an airplane, like commercial flying?
No, I did not see that one specifically.
It was crazy as hell, man. They're literally they were flying to Dubai or somewhere, and somebody's videoing out the window.
They weren't trying to shoot it down, but it was.
It was being sent somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've always heard Dubai specifically is a pretty cool place to visit. Yeah.
I don't think I'd plan any trips there right now.
This is why I pretty much stay, well, hell, in the continental U.S. Hell, even I've been to Mexico a time or two. Here lately, I've been I know they say the resort towns and all aren't that bad, but with all that shit going on down there lately, even some of the touristy areas, the cartel has pretty much declared all out war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which apparently you're not hearing much about that, because apparently we are in some degree of a war
with the cartels.
Well, or with the Iranians.
Oh yeah. I don't know I don't know what's going on.
There's so much out there. And of course I don't cut on the TV. It's all just what I get through social media and
the porn you watch. It's where Bobby Lee gets most of his news from.
Yes, I always, I let them talk about, the geopolitical realm before they get naked.
It's got your attention.
I want them to tell me what they think. Do we, especially when it comes to the Israeli-Palestine, deal.
Well, you don't trust anybody more than somebody that's about to get naked for you.
Hey, there might be a lot of truth to that, because that's usually just my wife. And
I was going to say, yeah.
And I'm not, obviously, she wouldn't be my wife. I didn't trust her. But
that's right.
No, just all the stuff you see, and it's just you got far left wingers and far right wingers that are pretty much, it's the whole circle where they're met, and they're all very anti-conflict, because the extreme far right wingers, are screaming that Israel's pulling all the strings and we're fighting their war. And you got the left wingers that are just
idiots.
Well, anything that this administration does, they think is awful.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Trump announced tomorrow that we had cured cancer. They'd be like, can you think of the oncologist that will no longer have jobs?
I was gonna say, didn't he say that in one of the things? Didn't he say I could cure cancer? And I think he said that on one of his little speeches. What about
the pharmaceutical companies that rely on those drugs?
And they're like, look at the trillions of dollars that will be lost now.
This is going to wreck the medical. No. But and then it's well, shit. And it's and you know what? I've kind of said, I really, I've paid a little bit of attention to it, but I'm sitting this one out. I have no idea. I have no idea if we should be bombing them or not.
All right.
I have no idea if Netanyahu is using us to fight his battle and Trump's just a big puppet for him. I have no idea.
Here's what I just had this conversation with a good friend of mine. He gets into all of it, and he'll send me reel after reel after reel, and it's about Israel this and Iran that and this and that. And I actually sent him the gif of Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber when he's sitting at the bar and that chick keeps talking and he goes, I don't care. And he's putting his head down. I sent him that. And I said, dude, and we do voice messages back and forth. I said, dude, I really don't care. I said, like, because here's the deal. I said, let's say that Israel is pulling the strings. I said, what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to do anything about it. I mean, I guess this is like a defeatist attitude, but I'm like, what the hell am I going to do about it? And then the other thing on the Iran conflict, I told him this as well. I said, look, that more libertarian side of me is like, I don't think we should be the world police. We shouldn't be over there. But then the other part of me is like, I'm not in the intelligence briefings. I don't know what the hell Iran's doing. Our military, the top dogs in the military, they know what's going on. And it's like, honestly, if there's a credible threat, like if there's a legit threat, then I'm like, by God, let's take them to oblivion. But
right, there is a scenario that I can play out in my mind where, okay, they're getting these nuclear weapons, whatever, and it could lead to a much bigger war, much more carnage and death. And so by us striking like we did in this,
we don't want to lose our producer to getting drafted into the military because he's prime, getting almost prime age. Bobby Lee and I, Father Time is on our side.
I don't think Father Time's ever on your side.
Well, but I mean, we're probably, I don't think we got to worry about getting drafted. But Banks over there, he's prime for the picking here soon. So,
well, and I even saw, there was that the shooting in Austin, Texas.
Which one was that? I can't keep up with that.
I think it just happened Saturday night.
That wasn't the hockey game.
No, that was somewhere up north.
Okay,
obviously.
But
it was at a nightclub in Austin, Texas. The guy, was
the tranny.
I don't think he was a tranny.
Is that not the dude? Man, one of them was a straight up weirdo tranny.
That was the one at the hockey rink.
Was it?
Oh yeah, like couldn't even make up how weird that dude was. But anyway, now this was like he was I believe he was from Senegal. He was immigrated here.
Okay.
He was wearing a shirt that said,
"Oh, they deemed it a terrorist attack."
Well, right. It said like something Allah on his shirt. Praise be to Allah or something like that. And then underneath that shirt, had on like an Iranian flag, had a Quran in his car. But even, and I saw very little to do with this, but I saw one little video, open up the comments. I don't know why I did. And every comment was, this is a false flag. The Israelis, the Jews. I was like, holy crap. Like, really?
Oh, yeah.
And then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, that's not that crazy of a conspiracy. Not that I believe it, but it's like, wouldn't be the craziest conspiracy that has come true in the last 5 or 6 years. But I'm just like, good grief. Like now you can't.
It's everything.
I'm like, you know what? And this is probably the wrong attitude to have too. I'm like, I'm going to worry about the people in my household. I'm going to worry about what's inside of my bubble, what I really can control. I feel awful for the people that were killed and wounded there, whoever they are, whatever religion they were, whatever. But it's like, I don't even, you don't even know. And part of that, I'll blame a lot of that on the media and on government and everybody else. You can't believe a damn thing anymore. And it's like, even when everything pointed towards this being Islamic terrorism, but then it's like, people are like, no, the Jews planted him.
But it's always the Jews. I mean,
right. And it's
and that's where I'm like
they convinced a guy to pretty much go on a suicide mission, pretend to be
an Iranian Muslim. Yeah.
That's probably a bridge too far for me. But at the same time, it's like, well,
everything
nothing is beyond belief at this point, as far as, conspiracies and cover-ups and everything else.
Well, and here's the deal. Like, I've thought this, because I follow this dude, and he actually was former military, and he was in the special operations side. But everything is a conspiracy. This guy, he posts, and he's got a pretty big following, and I'm generally I kind of am a conspiracy theorist, but in all honesty, I have conspiracy fatigue right now. Well, I'm just tired right now.
But then again, I'm like, one day, I often wonder what if it does turn out that 85% of these conspiracies are actually real?
Did you see the one about flat earthers?
I mean, I've seen that conspiracy theory.
No, but it's a meme. and it shows the dude, I don't remember what it's from, but he's like driving in his car and he's crying violently and hitting the steering wheel. And it says, flat earthers when every conspiracy's come true except for theirs.
Yeah, I may have seen that one at some point.
But no, like I told someone, now is actually the perfect time for another country to attack the U.S. because the population would immediately say it was Israel. It's the Jews. And like you could pin it in a way where like, I think you could easily convince the population that it was a false flag attack based off of Israel.
I still don't know that it's, yeah, again, it's like, I mean, how far does the cover up go? You know, it's like,
well,
like if somebody like made an attack on U.S. soil, like, I don't know. Like I may be naive, but I do think as far as like boots on the ground invasion of this country, man.
I'll tell you what I worry about.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but even like a Pearl Harbor type attack.
Yeah.
You know, I just, man,
I worry about these guys that are in the country now. They're like sleeper cells, they call them.
I think if you're really worried about something, that was, again, depending on what you believe, that's kind of what happened in Austin. I mean, he was like,
Marcy and him had 2 bomb threats last week at the hospital.
What would they call him? Like a lone wolf? Like maybe he just acted completely on his own. But you know what? What if he was getting, radicalized online by?
Well, and have you ever gone down the MK Ultra hole?
No. Man,
that's one that is worth going down because it's true. You know, like it sounds insane.
I've heard like reference to it, but you got a good book on the subject. That'd be a good one.
No, actually we talked about it on the other podcast. Brother Peter actually went down the rabbit hole of MK Ultra. I do not. I'm going to look.
I'll put it in the old Chat GPT or Grok and say what's a good book covered it. I probably got time to order it before I'm out of town next week. I can read that on the airplane.
Dude, and we can go down because we like going down those weird holes on here. We like going down weird holes. That was a good way of putting that. What's a weird hole?
I don't know about weird ones. that sounds quite dangerous.
I don't know that I've ever gone down a weird hole. I guess the first time. I
didn't think it was weird.
The first time, you're just like, this hole's awesome.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, so MK Ultra, I mean, that stuff's real. Like people are listening, they're like, oh gosh, this Alex Jones guy. No, I mean, it really is. You need to look it up.
Well, and look, and this could turn into the whole conspiracy theory episode. Alex Jones
has been right on a lot of shit right now.
I mean, he's been wrong on some stuff, but and some pretty big ones. But if you really like some of the shit that people thought was just batshit crazy 20 years ago that he was saying, and you're like, and where people were like, he's a lunatic. How much of that stuff has come, has been proven true.
Well,
or at least is a whole lot more believable today than it was then. It's kind of scary.
Did you, have you looked into any of the Epstein files?
No, I mean, like read them myself.
Yeah, and just read some of the files that have been like exposed. Like, have you read any of that?
Like, if it comes across my timeline,
Dude, it is nuts. It is nuts. Some of the stuff on there, and it's, Marcy. I'll try to talk to her about it. She don't get into the stuff as much. Like, she's like, she's like, I just don't know, because man, there's a ton of cannibalism in the files. And it's like, it's coded. Like they talk about pizza and jerky and the way they're doing it. Like people have kind of code breaker people have been kind of working on it. And it's cannibalism of like children in particular.
So like, where do they get these kids that they can just,
that's what that Ghislaine,
these just like kids from third world countries that nobody ever missed.
No, there's one that's I saw a thing today on this Madeline McCann. She went missing when she was like 3 years old, and it's pretty credible now that she was potentially like there's a drawing, like the sketch artist does of the I guess, potential kidnapper or something. And it looks just like Ghislaine. How the hell do you say her name? Ghislaine? Ghislaine. Gyro. Anyways, that whore that was kidnapping children for Epstein, that's what she was doing. They were kidnapping kids and like human trafficking them.
Man, and I guess my mind's just...
It's hard to wrap around that kind of evil.
Messed up, but like, I can at least see what they had to gain in the pedophilia stuff. Like, just from the standpoint of, he would get these really powerful people that he wanted to have dirt on.
Yeah.
So he could
blackmail
them, extort them, whatever. And so he would like bring in teenage girls, film them, doing all sorts of, bad things.
Terrible things. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, okay, but where does the cannibalism come in? Were they doing that just for pleasure? Like, are they that depraved? Like,
it seems like a pleasure thing.
Or is it, I know like the Alex Jones thing would be, and again, I've heard him talk about it, but it's just like they're that satanic. And like, I don't know that, like me, just from a nutritional standpoint, like there's really any advantage. Like,
I don't know, it's
such a weird thing to think about. Like, I can't.
I've seen stuff pointing that it would be like a demonic type thing.
Or was it a situation where maybe for somebody to participate in something that demonic, depraved, whatever awful, terminology you want to use to describe it, well, then you like, that's even worse than raping the kids. I mean, you rape them, then you kill them, then you eat them. I mean, like at that point, like he owns you, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
like, man, and I often remind myself, you can't, like, that's an injustifiable act. So it's a fool's errand to sit here and try to justify why they were doing it. Like, there is no reason. Well, you can't come up with a reason why that would make sense.
Well, no, I think
you probably
like to eat people.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I think too. You think about, because like I was telling Marcy about this, and she's like, I just can't believe that nobody would have come forward about them
they
eating.
Couldn't.
Well, and I told her, I said, no, you think about this.
And
I said, even if they're not partaking in it, they're hanging out with people eating like children. Like, you can't go forward and be like, these people that I'm hanging out with, they eat people.
Then even if you just happen to stumble in on it, well, then you're Alex Jones.
Oh yeah. Like, it's like, these people, I saw Leonardo DiCaprio eating a baby. Like,
because then it's like, now you got Alex Jones. He's like, hello, I was the guy screaming from the mountaintops. This was going on. Nobody wanted to listen to me.
Yep.
And so then you're like, well, shit. Yeah, he's kind of got a point,
There was something about Leonardo DiCaprio. He ordered 60 pounds of jerky. It had to be in the refrigerator for 3 days. Yeah. And see, that's one of the things that sucks. I'm like, man, what's a bummer is it's some like actors and stuff that I like a lot of their films. I'm like, man, damn, they got really, but who is
part of me, like the decent human being in me is like, man, it's just so much shit just can't be true. I mean,
yeah. You want to think that, but like I asked my buddy that, with Real News, I was like, man, do you believe this stuff? And he was like, unfortunately, I believe most of it. Yeah. He was like, I really do.
It's not like it's unprecedented. Like, cannibalism has been well documented. Like,
Bobby Lee's tried it a couple of times. That's how you know you don't like it.
We joke about a lot of shit. I'm not even going there. No.
Steven Tyler, he said he wasn't gay. He said he tried it and he didn't like it.
Did Steven Tyler say that?
He did say that on Joe Rogan. He was like, I know I'm not gay. I tried it with the dude and I didn't like it. Joe was like, okay, well, I guess that's one way to find out.
But that's the hard way to find out.
It's the hard way to find out. But no, I think that I do. I truly do think that at that stage they're demonic. I think that, our boy Mel Gibson, he's one of the ones you can hold on to right now, because Mel, he ain't in the files from all that I've seen. And Mel was saying that they were eating children back in like the 90s, whenever they started ostracizing him because he was talking about the Jews.
And it makes a lot of that. Yeah, you're like
Corey Feldman. You know who he is?
Name's familiar.
Have you ever seen The Lost Boys?
No.
Gosh damn it, Bobby Lee.
Maybe I have, and I just don't remember.
I hope like hell you have. What about Stand By Me?
No.
Shit. Hell, I think he's in he's in the Goonies. I know, for God's sakes, have you seen the Goonies?
Yeah. But I think I knew. So he was a child actor.
He was a child actor,
did he commit suicide? Or?
No, Corey Haim was the other one with him.
Okay.
And he ended up killing him, or he OD'd or something. But Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, they were like big, and they were kind of like the Macaulay Culkins and their
child stars.
Yeah, and Corey Feldman, for years as an adult, has talked about how much they were molested and like raped and like all this and like the demented shit that they were doing in Hollywood. And everybody, like all of Hollywood, was like, this guy's a lunatic, like was just, land blasting this dude. And they made him look like an absolute lunatic. And everybody thought this guy's just a weirdo. And now it's like, he's like Alex Jones. Now people are like, damn, I think a lot of this shit's probably true that he's been saying.
Is he still around?
He is still around.
Completely messed up.
Oh, he's pretty messed up, but he's still around. But like he said, Charlie Sheen was raping Corey Haim on like the set. And I think they went to some people and said something, and they like didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's just.
He's a big star, man.
Standard operating procedure here in Hollywood.
That's what's like so wild. Like you said, man, you just can't wrap your mind around it. Like, I don't know, man. Like shit. I couldn't imagine. Oh, Cat Williams, he's been saying that shit for a long time. He was one of them. He was like talking about when he first kind of got big.
No. He's got a bunch of clips where he's like.
But he talked about the first like big Hollywood party he ever went to. He was like walking around in this mansion, and he was like, "Man, people doing like blow on the couch and shit." He's like,
I'd expect that."
But he said he's like, I walk in there and he's like, go in a room. He's like, it's like two A-list movie stars. He said they're like sucking each other's dicks in there. Like he was like, I don't know what the hell was going on.
And I've wondered this too. And man, this has really been a dark start to this episode.
Well, this was the really dark conversation I was going to have in the couple episodes back.
So I've wondered this, like, and again, obviously I'm looking at this from a dude's perspective. So you're a Hollywood A-lister, a rock star, even a, big time politician, whatever. They can get all the women they want.
Yeah.
Probably have had all the women they want, 2 or 3 at one time. And like, do they just get to the point where it's like, okay, I can sleep with a beautiful woman. I can sleep with any beautiful woman I want.
Yeah.
I can sleep with 2 at one time. And then it's just like, what do you?
It loses the luster.
Like you need that thrill. So you're like, well, I can sleep with a 12-year-old boy, I mean, and it just, do they just get wilder and wild? Like they're getting so far out there because that's the only thing they can do to get a rush or
I've heard like whenever
they should have just gotten married, because then you're just happy to get your wife naked every now and then. It's a thrill no matter what.
I think because I've heard like when you see like the porn stars that have like escaped the industry, and a lot of them talk about a lot of them were like drugged, and they kind of, because they talk about what a miserable life that is, and a lot of them have said like, what began as kind of more normal, it turns into like extreme, like extreme things they got to do. And I would venture to say that's probably what happens with them. Cause I mean,
but for them to get the rocks off,
they got to keep pushing the envelope.
Right. Yeah. It's not, I mean, because they can, I don't know.
Cause you can have it. Like you said, man,
that's me just trying to justify, like, how do you ever get to that point?
I don't think I'd ever get tired of beautiful women.
Right. Yeah, you're right. When you look at like some of these rock stars, they've slept with 1,000 women. You're like, I mean, not that I want that, but it's like, if you can just do it, like, why would you ever want to rape a little boy?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's crazy, but man, there is some really wild shit in the files. The bad thing is,
man, that's when I go back to, it's like, man, I just never been more proud to just be a Christian and just want to take care of my kids, take care of my household, like worry about the things right in my immediate environment that I can worry about.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, oh yeah, you'd love to just uncover all that and
just slit some throats, but
take a torch to them, the wood chipper, whatever you want. But it's just like, man, And I know it's the wrong attitude. It's like, what can I do?
Well,
I can have a lot more impact just here in my own small little world, community, household, making sure that we're, I don't want to say shielded from that, but yeah, shielded from that. Not like, I don't even want my kids to know about that. Like,
oh yeah, no.
I feel dirty just even knowing about it. Like,
Well,
it's like, and I don't even, and then I go back to it's like, well, if it's going on, then we need to know about it, and we need to, like, you can't let it.
Well, yeah, justice needs to be served.
Right.
And here's where I fall, because that's where like when I was talking to my buddy in the news sector, I was like, man, they need to unveil this thing, man, burn all them sons of bitches to the ground. Like, this is terrible, man. They need to have had their freaking throats slit and be just killed. And he was like, well, he said, man, he was like, I don't disagree with you. He said, but the problem is this thing goes so deep. He said, not only would it like basically destabilize the United States, he said, it's multiple countries that this thing would like totally destabilize. It's that many people involved. But so like the one thing that I kind of come back to, and, you know, you hit it on the head. As a Christian, I know and I believe that, you know, God is merciful, God is loving, but at the same time, God is a God of wrath. And so, I shared a thing, like as much vengeance and justice as we can serve them here, the justice and wrath that they'll receive at the hands of God will be far worse than what we could ever do.
Right. And for all of eternity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where, when you lay your head down on your pillow at night, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have to win the battle here because it's going to be won in the end.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I shared that thing on Instagram one day. It was great. I saw a meme and it said, the names in the book of judgment will not be redacted. And I was like, that's a good way to look at it. That's kind of where I've come to. Cause I had a girl like message me. She followed me for farming stuff. I don't remember what I shared. I shared something and I guess it must've been political. And she messaged me and she was like, Trump is like Hitler, and like said something. And I was like, look, I'm not here. I don't want to talk politics with you. I was like, I don't debate politics online anymore. It's pointless. And then she starts going like, what about the files? He hasn't done this and done that. And I'm like, I was like, again, I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you. Like if we want to meet and have a cup of coffee, we can talk in person. I ain't doing this on social media. And that's the thing. Like, it's like, again, why are you beating the drum to me? I can't do nothing about it. Like you said, I'm not. And so I'm like, at the end of the day, justice will be served. They will face the eternal wrath. So that's far worse than anything we can do to them. So, I guess we should talk a little ag.
Yeah. Yeah. What have the markets done today?
Well, they've actually gone up.
Cattle markets were, how my days are running together. They were down into last week. I had not even checked. They're up a little today.
I was going to,
which we are, we'll, if we're giving like up-to-date market news, we are recording early this week. So it is Monday, March the 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah. By the time this episode comes out, markets might be in the tank. You never know.
Probably will.
But no, it something that, we've been like, I feel so doom and gloom on ag here lately. I will give some positive stuff on ag. So, I've been meeting with my agronomists and I've been meeting with seed reps and like trying to really hone in the plan. And I actually, a dude today made a post on this farming page I'm on, and he was like frustrated. He was like, man, he said, year over year, I'm losing money. And he said, what do you guys do? He was like, I'm even working an off-farm job and I'm still losing money. And he said, like, is there a profit margin in farming anymore? And he's a row crop guy. He's got old equipment. He's not a big operator. And a bunch of people were like, not right now. There's really not. And I commented on there. And I wrote a pretty long thing, but I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually have been frustrated now because I've always thought I ran a pretty tight operation. Like I was like, man, I can watch my numbers pretty good. But this year, man, I've gone over. Like I can tell you right now to a T what my seed, chemical, and fertilizer costs will be per acre. In years prior, I could usually tell you about what my seed cost was going to be And then the other two, I kind of had maybe a roundabout idea. This year, I've got that thing super, super honed in. And, man, like, I'm trying to think of the number. Last year, my average cost per acre on soybeans, seed, chemical fertilizer, was probably in the ballpark of $230 an acre. This year, I'm looking like $175 an acre. I mean, I was like, dang, man, that's some serious cutting.
Yeah.
And then my equipment cost last year was, it was over $100 an acre. Right now, I'm sitting at about $70 an acre, which is still more than I want it to be, but it's a lot better than it was. So, like, between just what I've cut on equipment and what I'm cutting on inputs, that's about $100 an acre.
Yeah. Well, and nobody likes going through these hard times, but of course we've discussed it numerous times here. If you can survive these times,
You'd be big dicking afterwards.
Right. The folks who do make it through this, these next, I don't know, I'm afraid to say it still may be a few years.
Yeah.
You're going to look back 20 years from now and say, yeah, the 2020s, those mid 2020s made me tighten down. And that's why I've got the operation that I have today. You know,
yeah.
I don't know, we'll be in 2045 or something. And so, yeah, it wasn't until we got into those bad years where I started putting a pencil to every single input. And yeah, that's why I'm working 28,000 acres today. that and the fact that I did have to get bigger, get out.
Yeah, when we'll be doing this podcast in 10 years, I'll be like, yeah, that's how I got up to 28,000 acres.
Yeah. We you'll have 4 of them 8R 540s.
Yes.
Parked out back.
Well, and like I'm sure on y'all's business, y'all have a pretty good list of your expenses. Like at the clinic, like you can pretty well say, all right, we spend this much on pharmaceuticals. We spend this much on cocaine. We spend this much on that. And, and so like, and that's where farming.
We do handle some controlled drugs. Obviously you have to. Cocaine's not one of them.
Not one of them. All right. But what about steroids? Could you give me some?
I can't, because we do handle, like, there's different classes.
You got some amphetamines?
Substance. Pretty sure, because there's like class 2, class 3, class 4. I think class 1, and I don't remember, I should remember this from like pharmacology. I think those are drugs that have no like medical application. So I think
that'd probably be where cocaine would be.
Yeah, I assume that's where cocaine would fall in.
What about anabolic steroids? Could you get me some steroids? You probably could.
Probably could. We don't use them in small animal. I know one of the ones that you'd always hear people talk about was Winstraw.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horse.
Really? That's for horses. I know a bunch of dudes that have run Winstraw.
There may be other applications for it, but I'm pretty sure it primarily would be through.
What about DECA or D-ball? Can you get either one of those?
I'm not even familiar with
Tren. Tren's the big one.
I've heard of it, but I don't. Like, and even Winstraw, like I'm familiar with it, but it's more like I know some people that have worked in large, like dudes would come in all the time. They'd be like,
I got this horse that I really need to pep it up, man.
They'd be like, buddy, and like they're like, it wouldn't even like.
He's got like 21-inch arms. He's like, yeah, I really need this. His shirt's like exploding. like, buddy, you should have sent like your girlfriend in here or something. Straps are touching his ears.
Like, yeah, you totally got a horse farm. And
so you've had people try that before?
No, not ever.
Oh, gotcha.
But it, like, some guys like I went to school with it, like had worked in like equine practice. Like, yeah, every now and then you have somebody come in and try to.
That's funny. That's funny. Which, like I said, I guess it's the same thing. It's just a different dosage for a human.
I wouldn't even know. Man,
I'm gonna tell you. So Bobby Lee and I, we joke about cocaine on here. We also have made it clear we've never done hard drugs. Like I've never done cocaine in my life.
I don't think I've ever even laid eyes on it.
I might have seen cocaine before.
There may have been a time somewhere, but yeah, I don't.
Hell, it was in your mustache as the time I saw it.
Well, see, I can't see my mustache.
So you didn't see it.
Yeah.
No, only drug I ever even actually considered was steroids. At one time, I actually thought about getting on some cycle of steroids. And then I used to work at a place where
I don't want my balls to shrivel up.
well, that's what I don't have any inches to spare. And so I was like, man, and I'm pretty proud of my nuts. Like, I'm pretty proud of those things. And so I was like, man, I don't want, so when I used to work at a place where there was quite a few guys that were they were juiced up. And so man, they were big dudes, and they were into weightlifting and shit. And I was like, man, and I always have enjoyed lifting, but these were some big sons of bitches. Like this one dude was massive. And, man, but then you hear these horror stories of like people that get juiced up and they're like a big bad son of a bitch, but their dick doesn't work anymore. And it's like, man, I don't care.
What's it all worth?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care how much I can bench press if my goober won't work. Like that's your manhood. Like,
well, if I'm going to get jacked, it's to impress my wife.
Yeah. So then hopefully she'll take her clothes off more. And so then what's the point? She takes her clothes off more and you're like, you can flex your arms
I
more.
look good with my shirt off, but just don't pull my pants down.
Yeah. So that was, and I don't know, man. I was like, man, if I took roids, I'd be the guy that would have a heart attack. I was like, that's one of the things, that's what always deterred me from like drugs. I can't say that it was some great moral superiority. It was always like, hell, I'd be the bastard that would die. Like, I'm like, it'd kill me. So that kept me on a pretty straight path.
Yeah.
My dad always told me a famous quote from old Billy Wayne. He used to say, if I can't get my rocks off with beer and cigarettes, then I don't need it. And that's I'm like, that's pretty accurate. But it was dipping and chewing for me and rather than cigarettes.
Yeah. That's what I had a client. This has been a while ago. And sadly, he was telling me a story about, I remember if it was his son or his grandson that, opioid, death. He's like, man, it was very similar. He's like, if you can't get all you need, but he threw weed in there too. So he said, if you can't get everything you need with just a little beer and marijuana, I don't want it. But I guess that's the problem. You just keep going a step further.
And then he's like, you see him a little while later, he's like, man, a little bit of toot, man. If you can't get your rocks off, a little toot, maybe some heroin in there, man, shit.
Yeah, then before you know it, yeah.
Meth, if you can't get your rocks off, a little meth and, some uppers and downers, 8-ball.
Who was the comedian? Because, I was of the age, and I guess it was Nancy Reagan that had to just say no.
Yeah.
And they just tried to scare the shit out of everybody. This is your brain. This is your brain.
It worked.
Drugs. Right, to an extent. But then I think it had a negative effect, like maybe generation before me, because like a lot of them, because it was really targeted like at marijuana.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of them are like, oh my God, like when they're in like 6th grade and they're taught all this stuff, like if you smoke weed, you'll die.
Yeah.
And then they realize they're like, that was all a lie.
Yeah.
And then.
So then they're like, everything's a lie.
Right. But I don't remember if it was a comedian or who, but he's like, I was so scared. He's like, my dad told me about a couple of his buddies in Vietnam, or there's a couple of guys in Vietnam. They went outside the wire to smoke some weed, and they got their throats slit by the Viet Cong. He's like, ever since then, anytime I smoke weed, I get paranoid.
Somebody slit his throat. Who was he? You don't remember he said that?
But the joke was, he was like, now when I smoke weed, I'm always paranoid.
Paranoid and get my throat slit.
By the Viet Cong.
I have not, I don't know, but it was Just Say No, I think was the big, was that the red ribbon? It didn't say like Just Say No and then the red ribbon.
Oh, I just remember it was the bumper stickers. Just Say No and the dare to keep kids off drugs.
And I remember This Is Your Brain on Drugs or whatever.
It's the eggs frying.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I forgot about that.
I love fried eggs.
Yeah. Now it should be like soy milk or lab grown meat.
Yeah. This is your body. Have a normal looking dude there. Then have the soy boy stuff. This is you drinking soy milk.
That's right. That's right. And I'm a soybean farmer. I'm like making fun of my own product here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's there is some positive looks right now. But like I said, man, it all just comes down to how tight of an operation are you running. And that one thing I did add, and this is just a hard reality here. I told that dude, I said, look, man, I said, here's the deal. I gave long spiel basically about you got to be super tight on your books. But then I also said, but you got to look at this, because he was like, man, I've been farming year after year. I'm working a job off the farm and I'm still losing money. And I said, man, here's the deal. I said, at the end of the day, like farming, it's a great life. It's insanely stressful. It's very rewarding. But at the end of the day, man, it is a business. Like it is a business. And like, look, all businesses at some point will probably face degrees of hardship, especially when you're kind of getting them off the ground. Like I've heard stuff say like the first 3 to 5 years, a lot of new businesses never make a profit. Like they're kind of getting that ball rolling. And so, you know, farming's no different. But if you've been running a business for 10 years and for 10 years you're losing money, then there's some reevaluating that needs to take place. Especially if you're working an off-farm job to fund the farming thing and it's still costing you like a pretty good chunk of change. You know, look, if some guy out there just loves to farm and he's got a good off-farm job and he's having to come out of his pocket like, well, $5,000, you know, the farm's losing, I'm having to pay $5,000, but I love what I do. Hey, in that case, I mean, he's hobby farming anyways.
Well, and and a lot of times it's a tax write-off. And,
yeah.
And if you enjoy what you're doing, you're buying farm toys that you enjoy playing with rather than stroking a check to the government and you've got the money to cover it. Hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
You're keeping prices inflated for the guys, the equipment dealerships, because I'm like, we're still doing all right because we still got the guys that come in here that need to blow a little money.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, that, you know, but I think that, man, I think there's guys that, I don't know. I think that you can find ways to enjoy yourself. You know, if you're like shelling out, like you're like, man, I'm 50,000 in the hole every year because this farming operation or something. It's like, man, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like do something different. And it ain't even got to be a different style of, I mean, you can still be involved in ag. I mean, hell, start slowly getting into cattle or, you know, try something different. I don't know, shit, man. But if you're doing the same thing over and over, I mean, that's like me. I mean, again, I'm even shifting. So like my fertilizer plan in years past on my ground, it was pretty good. I would shoot for 200 bushel corn. I'd be like, man, I want to put everything out there to make 200 bushel of corn. And if we don't get it, by God, we tried. And now I'm not doing that anymore. It's very specific. Like if this farm has the capabilities of actually like truly averaging like 100, because every time, like most of the time, if I shoot for 200, I'm going to average 180. And so it's like, well, I'm leaving, you know, I'm actually still leaving some money on the, like out there because I've put more out there. And so now I'm kind of like, all right, if this is a good farm, I'm going to put the nutrients out there for a base of 180. And if things go right weather-wise, you can have 180 units of nitrogen out there and that corn can still make 200 bushel corn. Like, but the problem, like what I've kind of learned or what I'm doing is I'm not sticking my neck out there so far that worst case scenario, if the bottom falls out of this thing, I would stand to lose significantly less money than if I had thrown a damn kitchen sink at this thing.
Yeah, you're not trying to hit a home run.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you need a grounder. You know, you want somebody to hit a grounder.
Singles and doubles.
Yeah.
Like singles and doubles. You know, hit for average. Don't go up there swinging for the fences. You know, where you're going to strike out, you know, 3 out of 4 times and then finally hit a home run. Yeah, singles and doubles. Get yourself in the Hall of Fame doing that.
Yeah. What about, I mean, how can a guy budget to get into cattle right now? I think that because cattle are super high. I mean, we just worked some awesome cattle the other day. Beautiful cattle.
Yeah.
Bobby Lee was talking about how beautiful these cattle were.
You know, and they're really not awful. I was more.
He was insulting my little bull.
I was more insulting the setup and the facilities.
Well, how old are those facilities we were in?
I don't know. And that's why I just kept my mouth shut because I know the exact what the boss men would have said. We
used to do it back here. Yeah.
You know, at one time this was state of the art. And I'm like, and it was, and really, if it was just in good working condition, but it's like, well, this gate will only swing one way. It doesn't swing the right way. This gate won't swing back far enough. This fence over here, yeah, we don't want to crowd them here. The posts are all right. And like, before you know it, you're like, we ain't got a damn thing.
Oh shit, we already were packed in that little.
Like it's but anyway, getting in right now, yeah, buying in right now is not a good idea. I say that.
But I mean, but if this is the new normal, then you got to figure out a way to do it.
And I retract that statement. I just bought a bunch of bred cows like 3 weeks ago. And actually the price I got them at, looking at some other sales, I'm like, I think I paid a fair price for them.
Yeah.
And it's, let's say a guy has sizable block of ground already established in grass or can easily get it established. Maybe bought something that's already fenced, like the infrastructure is mostly there. Yeah, I don't know, because well, my brother and another friend of mine that are still doing the stocker thing, it's looking tough because
really,
like they've really put the pencil to it. What they're going to have to pay for a 600-pound calf right now is just, and I've because I hadn't really done the math because I'm not doing that this year, but I've heard.
Oh, you're not doing background?
No, because I bought all those extra mama cows. I'm going pretty much 100% cow calf.
Gotcha.
And we'll still keep a few all the way through to feed them out to finish, from my ones I sell direct. But I'm like, man, I guess the good Lord was just watching over me whenever he kind of guided me to make that decision, because I'm like, wow, like within 6 weeks of me deciding I wasn't going to do any background and stockering this year, yeah, pretty much everybody's like, they don't pencil out. Like,
yeah.
Which Corbett says it almost every morning. Cattle have gotten so high, like nothing pencils out right now.
Yeah.
The cow calf guy is the one because he's the one that's got the factory.
It's just the long game.
But the yearling guy, the stocker guy, trying to buy them and then graze them out. If you can put some really, really cheap weight on them with just grass, that might still pencil out. But, the feeder cattle prices are so high that even the guys that are feeding fat cattle, like it's just hard to make that pencil out. Even with feed as cheap as it is right now, with cheap corn. But
what about, okay, so the cow calf thing, that's the long game. Like right. It'll pay, but you just got to be able to make it work for about 3 years?
Well, that's what, like the guys I bought those cows from, they're, friends of mine, like, man, you're going to get half your money back this fall, and they're, which I'll probably, I don't know, a lot of it come down to taxes.
So you would sell calves this fall?
So those calves, I bought those cows heavy bred.
Okay.
Like
gotcha.
they were, if we hadn't hauled, like they started calving 3 days after I got them at my place. So they're having calves right now. Yeah, theoretically I can sell calves this fall.
What would they weigh roughly?
Oh,
would they be 300 pounds?
No, they better be bigger than that. By the time I wean them off and I'll hold them for at least 60 days after they're weaned. A lot of times when I sell them, will come down heavily to what my CPA says whenever we meet with her. Closer to the end of the year is like, would it be better for me to not show this income in 26 and I'll just hold them until January? That's why I sold my last group of stocker calves I had. I sold them on like January 3rd.
Well, then, all right. Well, so why wouldn't more guys, if that's the case, if you could buy bred heifers or bred cattle, like why would you not just buy them bred at the start of the year and then sell in the fall? Because then you're like, why not do that? Because I know you still got to have cattle over winter, so you got to maintain them then, but why do that versus the stockers?
So why am I doing that?
Yeah.
I had decided I needed to go all one way or the other.
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to be a jack of all trades. I'm going to have a cow calf operation on this farm. Then I'm going to take my wean calves down to this other farm and pair them up with a bunch I buy and sell more. And really I was time.
Yeah.
And really focusing on one thing. And like, and then I lost a little bit of pasture ground. So I'm like, well, that's going to make me have to downsize my cow herd because that was the property that I had my cows on, or joining property. I was losing pasture at that location. And so I was like, well, I may have to downsize my cow herd. And then my cow herd's going to be small enough. It's like, is that? And so then I was like, all right, I need to go all one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really, I don't know. I had several people tell me like, why would you not just get rid of the cows?
All together?
But like the mama cows.
Oh,
when
gotcha.
I say cow, I literally mean a cow, and then just run calves on both farms. And because then I could, I don't know. You could theoretically then get rid of all your hay equipment, not mess with any hay, because you don't buy calves until here in another month or so. You got good grass, and you sell them all before the grass runs out. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. But I think right now it looks like I
made the right call.
Very well may have made the right decision. You'll never know.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, I don't know, a guy, if you could find some, like I was lucky because I knew the people that had those cows. So, and I know them, I trust them. I wasn't just going to the sale barn, buying a cow that, nothing about other than the fact that the vet out back checked her and she is bred, and I trust that. But why is she at the sale barn?
Yeah.
Did she abandon? Maybe she had a calf past year, but she abandoned it. It's terrible. Mom wouldn't nurse it, wouldn't raise it. Maybe she prolapsed.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just lunatic crazy. Maybe there's nothing wrong with her and guy just is downsizing his herd. Like that's possible, but you just don't know when you're buying them through a sale barn.
Yeah.
You go to like any of these, because right now it's kind of bull sale season. I'm getting a catalog in the mail every day. And a lot of them are selling some registered cows too, which, yeah, you don't want to get into that unless that's specifically what you want. They'll have some commercial cows that are bred that they'll sell at the end.
Yeah.
But even those, I was actually watching a sale online on Saturday, and man, I was just like, yeah, I can't pay that price for them. Like,
the price we can't pay?
What's that?
You seem apprehensive.
I didn't know if this was a movie reference I was supposed to get.
No, but I could probably come up with one. No, when we buy those rodeo bulls that we're going to raise, you can get a pretty good price on some of those bulls, and we could really, we could get a herd going. We could start. That could be our bull or breeder.
No.
We could raise some rodeo bulls. We'll get into that.
Now, there's too good of money just raising good black, feeder calves right now.
You guys have heard it. I've been trying to get Bobby Lee. But now I'm pretty persuasive because Bobby Lee also kept saying no to doing the podcast. So before long, there's going to be some rodeo bulls we're going to be raising.
That's what also irritated me a little bit when we were helping sort those cows on Sunday, that I do nothing extraordinary with my cows.
Yeah.
I do what I need to do. They are like puppy dogs.
Yeah.
Most of them. I mean, I'm not going to sit here.
You didn't think those were like puppy dogs over there?
I can, and I know I don't want to jinx myself, but I can, if you said gun to your head, Bobby Lee, you've got to go catch, and you just name one specific cow at my pasture. You have an hour to have her in the pen, starting right now. I would be pretty confident that
you could do it.
One group, hell, I'm not kidding. The biggest fear I have whenever I go to get them in the pen is I got to get in there with the bucket before they run me over.
Yeah.
Get in there. Like
not out of meanness, because they want to eat.
It's almost right. No.
Yeah.
It's almost annoying because right now I'm going down there sometimes 2 or 3 times a day for calving. And every time they see me pull in, it's like a stampede.
They're a bunch of Democrats, man. You done turned them into Democrats.
Yes. They're ready for their handout.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and that's with me just doing, I just give them a little feed every day.
Yeah.
It costs me a little bit of money, but then that's a little less hay and they stay in a little better shape, and they're just so damn easy to handle.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody, like, if you see me with a rope, shit has really gone sideways, and it's probably about to get even worse because I can't rope.
My 3 over there that are like in the little side pasture, or it was 4 now, they're like dogs. Yeah, I mean, that's how they are. I mean, when I go, because every now and then I'll put them some range cubes in there. And I mean, yeah, you got to just try to not get run over because they want to eat.
And again, I shouldn't keep bragging because it's going to come out to bite me in the ass. But last Sunday I pulled a calf.
I saw the video.
First calf heifer. And she was in that group. I do not feed in a pen every day.
Yeah.
I just feed them on a muck line. So, but I walked her during the pasture, just literally got off the four-wheeler and just walked her. And I had to walk her up a hill. It's not a great setup because they don't naturally want to walk up the hill through the gate into the barn lot. From the time I got off the four-wheeler, I had her in the chute and was pulling the calf 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like all by myself, because she's just gentle.
Yeah.
Like, she's not going to take off running from me. She's not going to turn around and charge me.
I've only ever pulled a calf once.
I just walked her up the hill, right through the gate, into my pen. I don't even have a great setup, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
And the cattle are gentle.
Your dad and I pulled a calf one time. It's the only time I've ever done that. We used the Jeep that you're in. I choked her out with a rope, and then your dad, we hooked on.
Y'all did cowboy that one out in the pasture.
We did.
And I had this one in chute.
This was a long time ago. This was actually at Mr. Roberts. So this is when cattle were still out there. Were you still in Knoxville at that point?
They still had cows on there because I remember where I was. I was mowing my yard at my house that I lived in at the time, right after I got out of school, when your dad called me one afternoon because cows had gotten out for the 8th day in a row. Yeah. After they cut all the timber on that farm. I think there might have been some foul language in his voice. It was like, we're killing all these cows. And sure enough, over the next few weeks, we called them all. And then
there was a calf there was a cow that it had a calf halfway out. Yeah. And that's what your dad.
Was it coming out wrong?
Yeah.
Wrong presentation?
To be honest with you, I don't remember. Yeah, the calf was dead.
Yeah. And most time when you're pulling a calf, at least in my experience, most time she's been calving for a while, but
your dad is
a lot of them are dead. When I pulled the other day, it ended well.
I saw that. Yeah, that was a good one.
Which in hindsight, I went back. It's like, I probably didn't have to pull that calf, but that was that Sunday when it was getting real cold that night. Yeah. I was in a bad mood because Tennessee was getting beat in baseball. So I was like, I'm just sitting there and watch this baseball game and not bother. And then, I don't know, other team scored 3 runs. And I was like, screw this shit. I ain't
going to pull a calf.
Well, I went back out there and I was like, damn it, she still hadn't made any progress. She just had 2 feet sticking out the whole time, which 2 feet's a pretty good sign. You hope they're front feet.
I don't remember the.
They can come backwards fine too. But
well, no,
it was coming right. And then I pulled it without even using the calf jack.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wow, that was way too easy.
Yeah, your dad, I don't remember. He came and he was like, I need you to come help me pull a calf. So I met him over there. And yeah, he was in the Jeep that Bobby Lee had. It was much cleaner at the time. But he drove it out there into the pasture. And your dad actually shocked the shit out of me. We couldn't get this cow. She was typical Circle H cattle. She was crazy as hell. She was mean as hell, not crazy. And he lassoed her. I was like, I remember he got the rope out and I was thinking, I'm like, what the hell are you going to do with that? And he actually got her. They got her around the neck. And so he was like, scotch that thing. There was a wooden post out there because she was nuts.
Dallied off to it.
Yeah, he was like, scotch that around there. And so I did. And I was pulling, man, I was cranking it. Hell, I choked her out. And she fell down. Your dad was like, fine. Yeah, your dad was like, she'll come back. She'll come back too.
You ain't going to kill her like that.
No. So she goes down and then, man, we go back there and we tried to pull that calf and we couldn't get her or get it. And so your dad actually took a rope and he tied it around some feet. I don't remember if it was back or front legs were sticking out. And then we just tied it to the back of the Jeep. And then he just eased the Jeep forward and pulled it out. But it was a stillborn. It was dead. And we undallied and the cow, she came back, which we let off the rope. We didn't just keep her choking, but we let off the rope. But she was down for a little bit at that point. That's the only calf pulling I've ever been involved in.
Well, I think the last one I pulled before that one, which again, I don't even know, was a heifer of Dad and them's. It was some pretty cowboy shit. It was me. I think it was me and my dad, my brother, and Willis. 3 generations of us out there. And it wasn't pretty the way I finally got her caught, but I got a rope on her. Yeah. Got dallied off to a tree. We got a couple of ropes on her. And hell, we were laid out there at the pasture, and she was bred too young. I actually, because I was videoing it for YouTube, and I took a still shot, just from the video.
Yeah.
And
of all the generations.
Well, we were all in there, but on the feeder flash, they do a punchy pick of the month.
Yeah.
And I submitted it. I was like, I'll submit this. We won. We were like second or third.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yes,
that's neat.
I made it on the feeder flash there very briefly. And but what sucks is it's a winner take all contest.
Oh, so you didn't get nothing.
They have this badass prize package for first place.
Yeah.
Second and third place just get.
You get the cred of being on there.
You get your 4 seconds of
What does the winner get?
Oh gosh, it's like a whole.
Like it's legit.
It's a whole case of therapies.
Oh, nice. There you go. You can get it at Agzaga.
Yeah. If you don't win the punchy pick of the month, you can always order it from agzaga.com. A bunch of swag, and like shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. But the big prize, the big money part of it is you get that whole case of therapies.
Yeah. We're about to do another giveaway ourselves.
You know what we are? Oh.
Yeah. Now, and man, it was funny. Like, actually that night we went and ate over at my parents, and after we had worked those cows, and that's what Dad and I, we were all talking, and he said, yeah, they said, because Uncle Bob, your dad told my dad, he said, yeah, Bobby Lee said he wasn't videoing because he was embarrassed. and
it's like the facilities dilapidated would be a pretty accurate and maybe understatement.
When I was walking around on that other side of the fence inside that little area, I was having to step down the huge weeds that have come up that are like the stalk is like a little tree. I was trying to walk them down.
Well, I already know exactly what my dad would have said had I complained. And it was, boy, back in its time, this was a state of the art facility. You're damn right it was.
50 years ago.
Well,
and not even that. I mean, probably 20 years ago.
It was just, and it's still like, it's not a terrible layout. Like, I mean, cattle, handling behaviors has not changed since that was built. But it's, for one, the tornadoes that came through.
I was gonna say
it used to be all undercover, and now the majority of it has no roof over it anymore, which that's not the end of the world. It's not like it was raining. But you got gates that have had to be worked on, and now they don't swing the right way. You've got gates that, well, because it needs to be scraped out. And
they don't slide.
Because then they got to where when we get bad weather, when it still had a roof, they'd open it up where cows could all come in there, which is fine. That's not a bad thing. And it's just, and so much of it, a lot of that, my dad, they built and he designed like when he was in college.
Yeah.
Because he went off to college, got all educated on proper cattle facilities, and came home and they did it. They built it.
And it's got that awesome sweep tub in there. The sweep tub's badass. I love that thing.
But it just, they have cared less and less about the cows over the years. So they hadn't put anything into it. Like facilities require some maintenance.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. It was funny that night when Dad was.
And they won't decide. They kind of got 1 foot in, 1 foot out on the cows. And they're like, well, why don't we? I'm like, if y'all are going to be serious about this, it's sadly, because I'll maybe shed a little bit of a tear, but like really a lot of that just needs to be torn out and redone.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even need necessarily a different design. It just needs entirely new.
Well, the posts are rotten too, man.
Yeah, everything. And I'm like, y'all got hired help on the farm. I mean, like, I know y'all don't want to do it physically, but y'all can even hire out somebody to come rebuild part. And they're like, well, then we don't want to put all that money into it. I'm like, look, cattle, y'all are row crop farmers losing money just like everybody else right now. Like, you got these cows that are actually making money and could do even better if y'all just put just a little more.
Well, that's what it is.
Like they're selling calves. They'll sell on Wednesday. Well, it'll be a couple of days before this episode comes out. Like, y'all are going to take a huge discount on them because they hadn't been weaned, hadn't been vaccinated, anything. And it's just, it is what it is. And they're still going to bring really good money, but y'all could have added quite a bit of value to them.
Well, it was that night, my dad, when I was telling, like when he was laughing about it, because he laughed and he said, hell, I wish he said, let's sell all the sons of bitches. He was like, I don't give a shit.
They say that, and then they've told me, man, y'all just want to take it over. And literally.
But they won't let you just take it over.
No, like I'll make like one suggestion. Well, we don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do then, which is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I know, like even Brock and I one time were talking, and that's what Dad's like, hell yeah. But yeah, it's always kind of like, it's kind of the same way. It was the whole reason why I started my own farming operation. I mean,
right,
you know, like I'd be like, hey, I want to try early beans. Hell, we did them 20 years ago. Ain't worth a damn. And it's like, well, all right, I want to do cover crop. Ah, damn, that shit ain't no good. You know, like, and
well, and I don't want to rub it in because I know, and they know, like my dad's like, I know if we'd weaned them and had them double vaccinated and all that, they'd have sold better, but we ain't. But I've got just a few calves that were born like last fall that I'll probably sell here later on this spring. And like, I just want to show him my ticket because I don't know what they're selling this week will bring. But I was like, I guarantee mine.
I'm hoping I'll get about 10 grand for that little bull.
Yeah, you can hope in one hand and shit in the other one. But no, like, I'm like, and I don't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
It's nothing ridiculous. Like I'm not. Like,
well, it used to be, the cattle working used to be a cool thing over there.
I make sure my bulls are cut and they're steers.
Yeah.
That they've been weaned at least 60 days.
Hey, I had a guy.
45 days.
Hold on, I had a dude ask me a question.
Double vaccinated. They've had all the bells and whistles. I've added all the value I can to them. And I get paid for it.
Can you band a 750-pound bull?
Yes.
Okay. I need to tell a dude. Had a guy ask me the other day. I was like, hey, man, I got a question for Bobby Lee.
Yeah. And
I told him, I said, I think so. I said, because I'm pretty sure that bull of mine that you fed out that time, didn't you band him? And he was pretty big.
Yeah. I'm feeding out 2 right now that were bulls when I got them, and they were bigger than that. Technique, is a little different. And like especially, banding or cutting, we like to be sure we give them tetanus and some stuff like that. But, oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm messaging him right now. So, hey, man, I forgot to get back.
I don't know that they're, I wouldn't want to ban like a 2,000-pound bull. Like
he said he weighed 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, you probably just need to kill him. They'll make him into baloney.
Yeah. Well, I told him, I said, I'm 99% sure you will be totally fine banding that cow or that bull. I said, but let me make sure. All right, there you go.
I mean, you can. I mean, I'm be careful giving out like specific veterinary advice, to the masses. I don't know that I get myself in trouble.
You're going to lose your license?
No, like it can be done.
All right. You got one tonight?
A company. That's right. I don't have to pull up our man.
Damn it. I did it again. I'm bad about not changing this board over. It's annoying. It's got it has 2 sound banks
settings
or 3. So
let me start off with 2 words: made in America.
Man, this tonight, for some reason, my headphone is making my ear. I feel like your dad when we did that episode.
His headphones were like
every time I'd look over there, they had rotated further down.
That might have had something to do with
it was a little bit of whiskey involved.
The Devil's Cup might have had something to do with that.
All right, you got one?
It's actually something I was looking at today, and Hill Science Diet pet food.
Okay.
I just happened to be, I was standing there talking. Of course, that's one of a couple of different brands that we carry. And again, I think most of our pet food probably is made in the U.S., so you could probably list off a dozen other companies. But that was one that was just sitting right there in front of me.
But they're actually legit, because I used to, so I got suckered in whenever Bear, my lab, was a little young dog. I was like, all right, I want to feed him the good shit. And so I started buying that stupid blue. And then I found out, I remember hearing and finding out that they were
I don't even know this.
Well, and this was years ago, but it would apparently was very subpar ingredients. It was not the top of the line ingredients. And basically it was the same shit. It actually, I think they ran a quality test, and it was essentially the same quality of the shit you'd get at Dollar General.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you were paying a premium.
Because it's definitely a premium food.
Now, they might have fixed it now, but I remember back then.
Premium price point.
Now I do Diamond.
I get
Is Diamond all right from a veterinarian standpoint?
Bro, my buddy Matt Lane, who is probably listening to us, I think he puts it best. Because this is a question we get every day. If it agrees with his stomach and your pocketbook, it's a good food.
Well, I don't say Bear is 13 years old and he's still going pretty strong.
And I tell people
he
every
eats
day,
shit too sometimes. So, I mean,
God, they all do. There are so many pet foods out there today. I don't even try to keep up with them. I can tell you what I feed my dog.
Science diet?
I actually don't. But if it is made in USA and I'm believing it, I have fed it in the past. I feed Pro Plan, Purina.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That stuff sucks.
Yeah, I might shout them out next week. I'm sure it's probably made in USA too. But yeah, I can't. I'm like, look, folks. Like it ain't like when my dad started practicing, 40 years ago. It was like there was
pig anus that's been ground up.
There was dog chow, Old Roy, and like the Co-op Action Ration.
Yeah,
like those were the 3 brands of dog food. Like you just had to pick one. Now, like there's a new pet food company popping up, and oh God, you want to talk about ones that like to sling mud and like you see these commercials. I love the like ones that are like the refrigerated shit you have to feed. It's probably all right. I don't feed that to my dog, but they like absolutely shit on people like me that feed their dog kibble.
Yeah. No, and that's all I feed. I get like I said, I buy the Diamond, the big, huge Diamond.
If you wouldn't eat that yourself, why would you feed that to your dog?
Well, and I laugh about that because I'm like, my dogs, I've watched both of my dogs. My sweet, precious Penny, my little golden retriever that is the sweetest little dog. I've watched her eat shit and barf and like, a tampon, like, things that I'm like, I'm damn sure not going to do it. And the argument that I look at that is the same one that Joe Rogan has used when people shit on people drinking cow milk. They're like, that humans are the only animals that drink another animal's milk. And Joe goes, did you know that humans are the only things that fly airplanes? Like, there's no cows flying an airplane right now. So it's like, we don't have to do, like, it doesn't matter. But I'm not going to eat. I'm pretty sure I've probably eaten dog food at some point in my life. When I was in high school, Jackass was in its prime, and like we loved watching that, and they would eat some terrible shit, sir, and then we'd replicate Jackass. And so I'm certain I've etten dog food at some point in my life. I've tried a bone, like the little treat.
It's safe you to eat. We in one of our nutrition labs, they actually encourage us, like, y'all try it. And like you pick up a little piece and nibble on it. Like,
I think I would rather eat kibble than like a wet, like. Yeah, I feel like that'd be kind of nasty.
There's a couple of like real specific, like high calorie, like one of them is called critical nutrition. It's basically potted meat.
Okay, I love potted meat.
Like I don't know that I've ever really tried. That's exactly what it looks and smells like.
Okay.
I'm like, like the zombie apocalypse hit, and like I was like had to like barricade in the clinic. Like, yeah, I mean, before I would starve to death, I would definitely eat that.
Yeah. The clinic, from a zombie apocalypse standpoint, I was thinking like when you just said that, it would actually be pretty safe except your front doors are glass.
Yeah.
You'd have to block that off because I was thinking your back door would be pretty solid.
Yeah. All the other doors are metal.
Yeah. But you got that damn glass front door. You'd have to really barricade. I don't know if you got anything in there you could really barricade that up with, do you?
We could barricade ourselves.
You got some big filing cabinets you could put in there?
Back in the kennel, because then you would just have metal doors.
Yeah.
But none of those doors, like you would have to, like, yeah, I mean, it would depend on, like, they don't lock because they're just inside doors, but you could maybe, it would just depend on how smart the zombies were, like what you do.
Yeah. I've thought about where I would want to go in the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, I don't know. I got the vault in my house. I could just go into the vault. But like I said, you got to then have, the bad thing about going into the vault. Yeah. And I actually have MREs in the vault. Like
you don't have any fluids though.
I don't have any fluids right now. I got to take some water in there. But then I'd have to shit in there. Like, and so, it's not that big. I mean,
it's like, are you going to be trapped in there for like 8 hours or are you going to be trapped in there for like 8 years?
Yeah, could you imagine shitting in like a 10 by 12, like vault? And, I mean, man, good God. And it'd be so dark. Like you would literally just be shit. Could you imagine what a damn crazy ass son of a bitch you'd be? Like, let's say you were stuck in that thing for like, I mean,
Well, you don't have any water stored in there, so you would die of dehydration.
but let's just say I had like, you know, Bear Grylls. Somehow I had like
you had a water.
I had a water thing. Maybe I had rigged it up where I could catch rainwater. But let's say I could somehow survive in this thing for like, I mean, hell, 6 months. Could you imagine you were in a vault for 6 months?
Solitary confinement.
And pitch black dark. Like you can't even see nothing. Like,
yeah, because the power grid would be down.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have a phone, you might have light for a little bit, and you'd be like, oh shit, there it goes. And you'd be an absolute lunatic by the time you got out of there.
Yeah. More so than you are now.
More so than I am. Yeah, man, I'd be worse than old dude off of Lethal Weapon in that case. So, well, guys, that was an interesting episode. Hey, it's okay to go off the rails sometimes.
Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, well, we got pretty deep in some ag policy stuff in the last couple of episodes. So we were due for a deep dive into the
demonic realm.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah. Guys, do us some favors here. We want you to leave us 5-star ratings on Apple, on Spotify. Let us know your thoughts. Comment on Spotify. We've been getting those. Those are great. Comment on Spotify. Hey, shout out to NCBA if you're listening. Hey, they were listening to us apparently on the last one. They think we're dishonest pieces of shit.
Because we said something, didn't admit to anything about what the checkoff and potentially not paying checkoff money if you sell something private treaty. I didn't recommend that, but necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, hey, but, so guys, leave us those comments. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know if you think this is some demonic shit that's going on in the world. Comment on YouTube. Any of that, guys, share it. Share the episode with your friends. It helps. And again, be sure and hit the follow button if you're tuning in on Apple or Spotify. We got a lot of people that listen all the time, but they're not subscribers. So you need to hit that follow button. It just helps us out. And leave us some good reviews. Go to talkdirtpodcast.com. Submit your questions. I do apologize. We have some questions we need to get to. We'll do that next episode. But so go to talkdirtpodcast.com. Submit your questions there. And what else?
Y'all heard us talk about it a minute ago. Get your therapies at agzaga.com. Get your bail net wrap. Get your baler part. Get your Flexzilla garden hoses. Good Lord, I'm not going to try to list everything. All your show animal supplies. You just need to go to the website, shop around. You'll find stuff you didn't even know you needed until you saw it there. Talk Dirt 20 is the discount code, $20 off, $50 minimum order. Yep. Check them out.
Check them out, guys.
You've been listening to
We
Talk
appreciate
Dirt
you.
To Me with your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee. If you enjoyed this episode, we ask that you subscribe and leave a review. And we'll catch you next time.